expectations.
Okay, that is great. It's a good percent.
Yes. It's a good percent. Just to be on the positive side, as to more events that's coming, and more activities.
Okay, today we have other socials, so you are going to have more options. But I want to know if so far here in Barranquilla you find the kind of girl that you was looking for. Like you say, like, okay, here in Barranquilla, I think that I can fit very well here in the city because the girls looks or they are as you are looking.
Yes, I find a few girls of what I'm looking for, and Barranquilla is nice. The women's are sweet, and they're very welcoming, and since it's not like since it's not a big tourist spot, we get a lot more attention. We become more of the center of attention here, so I like it.
Okay, that is great. And tell us a little bit also about the VIP program. That help you a little bit. Like I know that you have a couple of video calls with some of the girls. So you think that that is helpful for start the tour, or it's something like very different? Like it's not necessary.
It's helpful. It's necessary, and when it comes to talking to the women and everything, I would say, going on different dates is good, but when it comes to writing letters and everything, the words that's being said, you're hoping that the reality comes as those words been said. And sometimes it does happen like that, sometimes it doesn't, and just kind of have to push harder and face the challenge. So far, it's only been third day, so I'm gonna like keep it rolling. I think second day. Today's Saturday, right?
Yes.
Second day. My second day from Thursday. No, third day.
Third. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I hope that you're enjoying the tour, and also I hope that you can find that special one that you are looking for.
Yes, I hope so.
Bueno, hermosa, y tú cuéntanos un poco acerca de tu experiencia hasta ahora. No sé si es el primer tour al que tienes la oportunidad.
Looking for the perfect setting to find true love? Look no further, because Barranquilla awaits you with open arms to offer you a romantic trip full of emotions and opportunities. Be part of our upcoming Latin tour. Start this August 10th. Meet the most beautiful women of Barranquilla. Have dates with singles and find love. Submit your order at barranquilladating.com. Call us in our Phoenix office, +160-255-38178. Write us, afabquilla@gmail.com. Or office manager Claudia in Barranquilla, +5730-222-881962. Love is waiting for you around every corner.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Latin show. It's my pleasure. My name is Maria. I'm your host for tonight. And thank you for tuning in. This show is made for you guys. It's about Colombia. It's about dating. It's about finding love. So if you have any questions, I will be here the next hour to answer all those questions. You have a section where you can send your questions in. They come to me. Don't just put it in the comments, guys. I know that after when I finish here, sometimes I watch it and then you put everything in the comments and I couldn't answer because I don't get to those comments. So please send the questions to our webcast question thing and then I answer all your questions. It's my pleasure. And so first of all, as usual, what's going on tonight, what's planned for the show, right? You already saw our introduction video. We are about 8 days away from our Barranquilla tour. So I'm really excited for that one. And Barranquilla, I always talk about Barranquilla and all the tours, but in general, Barranquilla is always so much fun. I hope you already got a little impression how much fun it can be if you will be one of those participants. And not only fun, right? It's not only about fun. Fun is obviously what we want to have, and yeah, want to enjoy the days and enjoy the vacation. So you will have an amazing vacation. But as I said, it's not only about fun. It's about dating. It's about finding the right person. It's about making connections. It's about how to date a Colombian woman, let's say one. Let's talk about one woman maybe, but maybe you date several before you focus on one. So there are several things you have to keep in mind to be successful in international dating, and also especially in Colombia. So we're going to talk about today, the subject of our day today is how to build a relationship with a woman from this country, right? Lots of things you can also put on other countries. You can translate it to other countries, not only Latin countries, like in general, but how to build a successful relationship. And I'm going to go into that a little bit later on in the show. We also have a new featured girl. Her name is Sonia. We have a video for you prepared, and I will tell you a little bit later what is the featured girl and what is the benefits and why is it a featured girl, and how to get in contact with that woman. So I'm going to show you that interview later. We have another interview prepared from Clara, and obviously I will answer all your questions, guys. So as I said, just send them in. And yeah, you already saw our Barranquilla video, so we only have 2 spots left. And I would love that one of you guys maybe watching this video said, okay, I have time next week and I really would love to meet women and really find a good connection. Then that is your call. Don't wait any further. Like, it is a beautiful place to go. Some of you guys maybe are tuning in tonight. For example, I told you last week about organic chocolate. He came to Barranquilla and was so excited and had an amazing time. If somebody knows Barranquilla, you're welcome to put any comments in. If people have questions as well, you guys help each other often as well, replying to those questions. So if you know Barranquilla, if you have dated Barranquilla women, obviously you can do that. And as I said, Barranquilla for me is special because really when in the beginning I really didn't want to go to Barranquilla. I was living at that time in Cartagena and I was like, Barranquilla, I don't know. And when we started with the offices and the matchmaking and everything, like, yeah, Barranquilla. But after I went to Barranquilla and after I've been there so many times, it's like, it's a different vibe. It's a different city. The people are different. It's a different culture inside the cultures of Colombia. Colombia has different cultures, different forms of women, not forms of women, forms of thinking, and different types of women, obviously, too. And every city is a little bit different. And Barranquilla is special. And it's not so much the city itself. The city is a nice city, but it's a city. Like, a normal city. Like if you go to Santa Marta, if you go to Cartagena, they are much more touristy, much more beautiful, in my opinion, in terms of beaches, nature, and surroundings. And also Cartagena, for example, has a beautiful old town. Santa Marta has a nice old town too. And so, yeah, so touristy-wise, other parts of Colombia are more attractive maybe. But dating-wise, Colombia is a very good place to go. And you are here for dating, right? So Colombia, Barranquilla, is a great place for dating. And why is that? So the people are not as spoiled because it's not as touristy. So because it is not as touristy, they really value you. And that is what you often want. You want a woman who values you, who really appreciates you, who comes, who likes you for who you are. And so as they are not used to so many foreigners and not used to that exotic, it's getting more and more. Don't get me wrong, there are already a lot of foreigners in Barranquilla, but if you compare to Medellin, for example, it doesn't have the same market. It's a much more industrial city. It's much more, it doesn't profit from tourism. And so that's good. It's good and bad, right? It's not bad, it's not good either. Every city is different. And tourism is great. But as I said, it doesn't bring sometimes the same effects that it has. And you have less working girls. You have some more serious women, I would say. The Barranquillan women are very traditional, family-oriented, but also very hardworking. lots of them work, lots of them have a good education, more of them speak English, I would say, than even in other cities that even are more touristy. I mean, you can find English-speaking people as well in Cartagena or in Medellin. And every year it's getting better and more and more and more. Like really a lot of Colombians are learning a lot of English. The universities are teaching, the schools are teaching now a lot earlier. So it's getting better every year. Like more people get into the English language. But Barranquillan women in general are very interested in other cultures, in traveling. They had maybe more financial means as well to be able to see a little bit more of the world than maybe some women from Cartagena. So it's generalization. Generalization never is good, right? You have to be always case by case and woman by woman. I just try to give you an overview, right? So don't tell me, Maria, you said all women are hardworking, and then you meet somebody who isn't, right? That can obviously happen in every city. The city has 1.2 million people, 1.1 million people. So obviously I cannot speak for everybody, but to give you an overview. And our tours in Barranquilla are one of the best. I can really tell you why, but it's just, I think, the atmosphere. The women are just so joyful, so grateful, so fun. They want you to be happy, to make you feel comfortable. So I don't know. It's a very, very, very beautiful, fun city to go to. So if you're on the edge, that's your call. And we're going to have a little later video as well about our March Barranquilla tour, where you get some in overview how a tour looks like. If you don't have an idea what is the tour like, you got like a 1-minute video now. We have a little bit later a 3-4 minute video, a new one, as I said, from the March tour, where you get a good overview of what is a tour like if you don't have an idea. And so before we get into a little bit further in everything in our show tonight, I usually give you an overview what you need to travel to Colombia, because now lots of you will say, okay, ready, I want to go, I want to meet, I want to go on a date. And so what do you need? You don't need a lot. You buy an airplane ticket, you need a passport. That's the first thing. If you don't have a passport, you have to get a passport. And then you need an airplane ticket both ways. So it's not enough if you just buy one way, because the immigration will ask you if you're going to leave the country. And if you don't have a flight, you cannot show that you're going to leave the country. So you definitely have to buy a flight, purchase a flight. But maybe you purchase a flexible flight if you want to maybe say, okay, I don't know, maybe I want to do 7 days, but maybe I want to stay 3 more days. I don't know yet. That's totally fine. Just buy a ticket which is flexible, and then you call your airline, and then you can change your airline ticket. You get a visa. You don't need a visa. You get a visa when you enter the airport in Colombia, and you can stay up to 90 days. So you don't need to buy a flight in 1 week. You can buy a flight in 6 weeks and 8 weeks, right? As long as you don't overdo the 90 days. If you want to stay longer than 90 days, that's possible. You can stay up to 180, but you have to go one time here to the embassy and to the migration thing. They give you a stamp. You pay it was like 10 years ago, $20 fee. I don't know how much it will be now. Maybe it's a $30 fee, but it was not expensive to extend another 3 months if you need to. Most of you guys just come for 1 week or 10 days, 14 days maximum. So you don't need to extend anything. You get 90 days by arrival. But you do need to have a plane ticket out of the country. Doesn't have to be back to your home country. You can go to Panama, or you have a flight out to wherever, Ecuador. It doesn't matter, just that you go out of Colombia. Also, a lot of the airlines have a 24-hour free cancellation policy. So if you book your flight today and you cancel within 24 hours, you don't get charged. So what does that mean? So for example, you want to go to Colombia, but you don't know how long you want to stay. And you cannot purchase right now a flexible ticket because it's so expensive or whatever. So what you can do, it's a little bit a secret tip here, but you can just purchase a flight, and while you purchase it, you go on the plane, and then after you get off the plane, you cancel your flight back home, right? And then you purchase a flight whenever you need to. As I said, the idea is most of you guys don't stay that long, and none of you usually stay illegal, so I'm not afraid about that. But it's just that I tell you, you need to have a flight out of the country. So what else do you need? No vaccination proof is required anymore, so don't worry. If you're not vaccinated, all is good. You don't need anything. No test, no proof, no nothing, which is great. It's like it was everybody can travel, everybody can go without any problem. So that's amazing. So don't worry if you're not vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, don't worry either, right? They will not ask you. You are good. Everybody can travel. Everything is good. The only thing that everybody needs still, and it's a little bit pain, you still need is this check migration form. Every week I tell you about that check migration form. We have a tutorial video online. If not, ask Kirk. He is always in the comments to put the link in if you don't know, which is the tutorial video how to fill in the check migration form. There it's important that you know the department of the city where you travel to. So for example, if it's Cartagena, then it's Bolivar. If it's Santa Marta, then it's Magdalena. If it's Medellin, then it's Antioquia. And if it's Bolivar, if it's Barranquilla, then it is Atlántico. So you can Google that if you don't know. Anyway, if you sign up with the tour, you get an agenda. In the agenda, there's the information, the hotel information, because in the check migration form, they also ask about where you're going to stay. If you reserve a hotel with us, great, then you can put the hotel address in what we put in the agenda, or you ask Michelle or Anna if they are in contact with you, what would be the address. If not, if you stay on your own, if you stay in an apartment, whatever, you put that address in. Any address is fine. If you don't know where to stay, I did that when just a month ago in the United States. I didn't know where I actually going to stay because we're going to rent a car. So I just went to booking.com, looked in one of the things and said, okay, that's probably the place I'm going to stay, and put that address in. It's not that everyone will verify, it's just that they need to know in case where you're going to stay. Obviously, if you have the hotel, the better, but that is just what you have to fill in, right? Before you enter, and it's a check migration form. That check migration form you can fill out even 2 hours prior to your flight. I filled it out at the airport the other day, but I have done it a lot of times, so I don't need a lot of time to fill it in. I need like 10, 15 minutes and I have the thing ready. And sometimes the website does make some problems, so I don't recommend you do it that last minute. Try to fill it in, because I'm reading here your questions and already buying an airplane ticket. Try to fill it in 1 day prior. You can fill it in up to, I think, even 72 hours prior, if I'm not wrong, 48 hours prior, if I'm not wrong. But sometimes the website has a little clinch. So usually 24 hours. So if your flight is tomorrow 10 a.m., do it today 10 a.m. And even, or do it the day yesterday 10 a.m. and if it didn't work, then you have another day. Maybe try it 2 days earlier, and if it didn't work 2 days earlier, then you still have another day. And then you can even do it at the same day, right? Every day you can do a new one. You can just not do twice the same day. So don't worry. And it is working pretty well right now. It's not that, I mean, I had a little bit, but a second time I tried, I didn't get it through right away. It was more the website that made problems in the moment of the connection. Anyhow, so check migration form. There was even too much information about the check migration form. Don't go crazy. It's really easy. It's just you fill your passport information, your flight information, and if you have a connecting flight, if you have 2 flights, for example, from New York to Miami, from Miami to Cartagena, then you put the flight from Miami to Cartagena. They want to know which flight is the one that comes into the country. Okay. So enough information about check mix. The only thing you need is an airplane ticket. We have cheap plane tickets right now, and it depends obviously when you want to fly, which airline and from when. Let's see, Eric Lee. Eric Lee, I love it. Eric Lee is here. Good evening. Let's see who's here. Oh, you guys, you're writing a lot. So Eric Lee, Medellin tour. Yeah, we have the Medellin tour coming up as well in 1 month, 6 weeks from now. Wow, that's soon. We are, I think, also having quite a demand there already. So if you're considering going to Medellin also, I would recommend you putting at least your deposit in so that you secure your spot. I think you can cancel up to 30 days prior without any charge. So in case you're not sure, but you want to reserve your spot, put the deposit in now, and then in case you can still cancel, okay? For the Barranquilla tour, you would have to pay full, obviously, because we're 8 days prior to the tour, okay? How much is a tour? A tour depends 7, 10, or 14 days. I think the prices are at $3,195. 3,695 and 4,095. If I'm not wrong, I don't have it right now in front of me. But you can go to loveme.com, medellindating.com, look at the Latin tour prices, and then you will see it. So let me see what you guys are writing. Rich, hi, Rich, how you doing? Rich Rodriguez, getting ready to fly out to Barranquilla for the tour next week. Very excited. We're excited with as well, Rich. Looking forward to finally meet you in person. Rich and I, we have been in emails since a while, and I think you're also in emails with Claudia, and everybody's preparing. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to meet you, Rich, finally. I think we've been emails like for the last 6-7 months. Is that possible? It has been quite a while. So I'm really excited that you're going to come. I'm sure you will have a really good time. Let's see what I have here in my list right now. And then I go a little bit further in your questions. And so yeah, I hope that you're looking forward to that tour, and I'm looking forward to that tour, and I know Rich is looking forward, and I know the guys who already signed up for the tour are looking forward, so that's really, really cool. Yeah, let me get into your question. We're going to give you that little Barranquilla video just in a minute, and Guapo as well. Hi, Guapo, nice to meet you. I will be attending the tour next week, and I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you. Looking forward really to help you getting here, matching everything, having fun. So that's really, really cool. I got my brochures. It's great information. Rubber Band Man also coming next week. You're talking about the agenda. We're going to have a conference call with the ones on Friday. So always before a tour, we have a conference call. So Claudia will be having it with Michelle on Friday. So if you have any prior questions on how much money to bring, what else should I bring, what should I be aware of, you can all do those questions. Money, I can just give you a little overview. I always recommend bring some cash in case your credit cards don't work. Usually I would say bring $100 per day cash, $150 per day cash you come. So if you come 7 days, maybe bring $1,000 of cash or $800 of cash. You really don't need it that much. You can most of the times pay, but as I said, if you don't want just to relate on a credit card, right? Something can happen and then you're without money. So if you don't need your cash, you leave it in your safe, right? No problem. So, but you can bring up to $10,000 into the country without declaring. So if you bring 1,800, 1,500, no problem at all. So guys, you are all coming next week. So that is really, really cool. When you are there, you are most like a family, part of the family when you do the tour. Rodolfo, thank you for that comment. That is what we always try, and that is the big beauty of Colombia. That is what made me fall in love with that country. That family feeling, right? That they want to make you feel at home, part of the family, part of everything, and you can really feel that they really mean it. It's not just the thing they say, it's part of them, of the essence of the Colombian culture. So I do think, and also not only on the tour, usually when you come back, when you keep in touch with us, we always try to be with you. Obviously we have a lot of clients, and it's not that we, right, but we always happy to see you, to hear from you, to get to know more from you, to know where you are at. So I love that you bring these comments in. It's really, really beautiful. How do we keep our cell phones going? Change SIM card and get Colombian phone services. So yeah, you will see that when you come, if you have a Verizon zone, most of the time the Verizon zone is only with Verizon. It's usually blocked, so you cannot put another SIM card in, but most of the other phones you can put another SIM card in. Other phones have 2 SIM card inserts, so you can keep your old one, the American one, and put a Colombian one in, for example. If you take obviously your SIM card out and put the Colombian one in, you won't get any calls. And you can get them to the Colombian number, but not to your usual American number. And maybe also not your texts, but you do get your WhatsApp still, because WhatsApp is registered with your original number. If you need the text and the calls from the US, then I would recommend you put a second SIM card in. Don't take your SIM card out, or bring a second phone, or buy a second phone. When you're here, purchase a cheap phone, put a Colombian local SIM card in, and that's the phone you use for communication here. But if you use your American phone, you can also purchase a roaming plan. Roaming, I think for you guys is usually like $100 a week or $10 a day. It's a lot cheaper if you put a local SIM card in. So I think for the 7 days, if you use internet and put a local SIM card, the SIM card is like $5, and then you put another $10, and then you will be fine. So instead of $100, you pay $15. So that is why a lot of people buy a local SIM card, right? So that is up to you. You don't have to. Some guys I have my plan. I don't need it. Everything is good. now it depends on the operator you're having. Yeah. She looks like has the air condition on inside, very hot where she is. I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay. Do I look sweaty? I'm sorry. Yes, I'm very okay, but it is hot. I have the air conditioning and I have the fan on. I was all day on with the windows open, but in the evening it's a little bit, it's still a little bit hot because we are right now in the transition from dry season to rainy season still. I mean, we're already in the rainy season, but July was a month where it didn't rain a lot. So in the last couple of days, the humidity was quite a bit hot. Like it's still hot. And but it's getting better. It starts raining now. So you guys, you come next week, you might get a little bit of rain, but it's actually refreshing. And to be sincere, I haven't slept a lot in the last couple of days. It has been a little bit stressful, but everything is okay. So yeah, thank you for asking, Rodolfo. Everything is good. Jeremy, I'm going to do a 14-day Barranquilla next year. Amazing. I will be managing in November. Be nice to compare the two. Yeah, it's very different. Both are very nice, but it's very different. Just the climate, just talking about the climate is different because Medellin is like spring weather. So you're in the mountains, it's higher, so it's a little bit cooler. It's not as hot as it is on the coast because on the coast we are at the sea level. And so if you are in the mountains, it's a little bit cooler. And yeah, and I'm just reading your comments and have to laugh. So I'm getting into that in a second. So the Medellin, it's a little bit cooler. In the coast, it's a little bit hotter. So just from the weather, it will be different. From the women, it will be different too. And the dating is different as well. So you will see where you vibe. Everybody vibes in different cities, and everybody has a city where it's more your fit. So just go to any city and just feel it. I think it's great to compare. Each city and see what works best for you. For one, Barranquilla might work perfectly. For the other person, Barranquilla is not the city to go, right? So, or not to go back to after the first experience. And that's also where I say the tours are a great thing to try because you just experience it and you're accompanied in that experience. So, but before I keep on talking more and more about the tour, let's maybe put our new video from our March tour where you get our impressions from our last March tour in Barranquilla. And obviously the one next week will be similar. So just have a look. And if you have any questions about that, I will be here. overview about our Barranquilla tour of March 2023. So if you want to experience something similar, then just sign up for next week because it's going to be amazing and we're looking really forward to meet you. As I can see, some of you are already in the chat, writing, asking what to do and what's going to come. So yeah, it's every tour is unique. Every tour is great. Every tour is just a different experience, right? We obviously do similar activities. So you have the city tour, you have the boat tour, we do have a pool party plan for you. And so, yeah, that's always party bus. You saw the people dancing in the party bus. So that is definitely something lots of people, lots of guys enjoy. If you don't want to dance, if you don't want to do party, then you just also can do a tranquil experience, right? This is totally up to you. The city tour is included. The other activities are additional, so you can participate if you want or if you don't want. It's totally up to you, okay? So yeah, it's always nice. And as I said, if you just go on a vacation and just need to relax, then this is also great. You don't have to do 5 dates a day, right? You don't have to do 3 dates a day. You can do 2, you can do 1. You can also say, hey, I don't want a date today. I just want to relax at the pool. And lots of you guys do that. Usually after the weekend, you guys arrive on Thursday. So Friday, we have the orientation meeting in the morning. So we have the conference call next week before you leave. So there you can start asking all your questions for just the ones who signed up with the tour. So you can privately ask your questions, what you're going to have to bring. And then when you arrive usually Thursday. Some of you guys arrive Wednesday. You can already start your dates from Thursday on. And Friday morning, we have an orientation meeting. And then you can still do a date or 2. Usually you have time for 1. And then you go to the social. And the social is amazing. As you can see, you see a lot of women, you meet and you date and you move from table to table, and it's just really a lot of fun. And you meet a lot of people in a short amount of time. So you meet the numbers game, as John always says. So obviously you have to meet a couple to find that right connection. Sometimes you might find her on the 3rd table. You never know, right? It depends. It depends really who's on the tour and what is meant for you, right? A little bit as well. And if the right connection's there, you're going to meet her because you're going to meet everybody on every single table. So it's fun. It's also overwhelming. So I don't want to tell you things that are not true. A lot of the men do say it's a little bit overwhelming. And it is, because where do you meet so many single women in one single night? And where do you sit at the table with 5 or 6 women and they just look at you? You know, so it's a little bit different. It's a different experience than what most people are used to. Let's say it like that, okay? And some love it. Some people say, no, that's too much, and that's totally fine too. If you do not want to go on a tour, there are lots of different things you can do. You can go on an individual tour, which is the Latin Club. There you just go by yourself. You also still have 3 dates per day included, up to 3 dates per day included. And so you just do it on your own. You're not in a group environment. You're not on a social environment. So some men do prefer that. If you do want to do at your own pace, you can also pay for individual introductions. If you want to do the Elite Club, we have the VIP service. That's one of my favorite services because you do have 3 months, 2 months of prior, 3 months total, 2 months of prior matchmaking before you even travel. So it is, for everybody, there is a service. For everybody, there's a way to go, right? So if you say the tour is not mine, great. No problem. If you say the tour is mine, then I would recommend you try one of our next ones. As I said, Barranquilla next week, Medellin in September, and we have Cartagena in November. Cartagena also is an amazing city, beautiful, touristy, great beaches, great old town, one of the most beautiful old towns you're probably going to see in Latin America. And it's just very colorful, very fun as well. So all of the cities are great. Every tour is different. So if you think about that, then yeah, as I said, it's your time now, guys. So let me get one moment in your questions, and then we're going to start about talking how to build a relationship, or how to build a relationship with a Latin or Colombian woman. And then we're going to get into our featured girl. And I'm going to show you also the new featured girl, so you guys can write for free the first letter. So let me see what you guys, I think Eric Lee, I said, hi, Eric Lee, but I did not say what the price is, right? Or did I? Sorry, if I did, I'm going to repeat it. It's on the 21st of September, round trip from Ohio to Medellin. $400 includes bags and seat choice. Obviously, you can do it cheaper if you don't bring bags, but most of you guys probably need a bag to get dressed. So some of you are writing here. Cool. Rod is saying my question is about age differences in the US. It's usually within 3 to 5 years. Okay, in the US, it's usually within 3 to 5 years. Okay, here it's very flexible, but I don't recommend you a huge age difference either. So you can probably go out with a woman 20 years younger than you. Sometimes even 25 years younger than you, if you need to, if you want to. But does it make sense? Does it go to something long-term? Does it lead you to something long-term? Probably most of the times not. Let's be realistic. If she's 25 and you are 50 years old, you are in completely two different phases of your life. I'm not saying you cannot. I'm never saying you cannot. You can. But in the long run, you really have to see what is she wanting from you? Is she using you? Is it really, are you really both on the same level? Do you have the same energy level? Are you looking for the same things in life? Because if she wants to travel, be in her career, finish her career, being whatever, and travel and make party, and you want to stay at home, be it with your family, want to have a child, you want her that she stays with a child at home, then probably that's not the right age, right? She's not there. She's not in that phase of their life. I'm not saying that women are open to have children early here. They are, but still not with that huge age difference. I'm not saying they aren't, but as I said, it can create a different problem. And you guys know that, and you are aware of that, I imagine. But what is realistic? 5 years, no problem. 10 years, no problem. Up to 15 years, I would say it's probably not a problem. Depending on the woman, I don't want to generalize everything. As I said, you cannot generalize everything and everybody, but up 10 to 15 years, we usually, if she's 30 and you are 45, it's usually working out well. If she's 30, you are 40, it's working out well. If she's 30 or 50, as I said, same thing, better than 25, but still. So you have to get to know that person and you have to build up that relationship and really see what are her intentions. Because not believe everything everybody says here, not believe every beautiful word everybody tells you, because it's a culture where you say a lot of beautiful things, but actions are different things. So as I said, to be safe and sound, and you don't want to go too young and too much age difference, to 10 years, 15 years. Some of you guys don't like to hear that. Some of you want a child. Say, okay, I'm 55 now and I want a child. What I want to do? Some of you guys, I don't know where that perception comes from, or in maybe also do some research in science now, technology, science, everything changes a lot. We are not dying at the age of 40 anymore. We're dying at the age of 80, more or less. And also women can have children later now than it was maybe 100 years ago, right? So, so some of you guys are 60 years old and say, oh, I need a woman who's 27. No, why? And you can have a woman because I want a child. Yeah, and what? A woman who's over 30 can have children. A woman who's 40 can have children. A woman who's up to, I think, 45 can have children. I heard even up to 48 lately. So obviously it depends on the woman. Obviously there are some more risk if she gets a little bit older, but it's not as bad as it always sounds. It's not for everybody. Obviously, I don't want to generalize again because, yeah, there are higher risks. I know there are studies. I know there are things, but I also heard a lot of people who have had children in their mid-late 30s, beginning of 40s, even people working in this team. I don't want to mention now the people, but even working people in this team, I know women who have been having babies in their not late 40s, but in their beginning of 40s, right? So, healthy children, beautiful children. So also don't think just because you're 60 now, you have to date 27, right? You can go 38, 37, and actually you don't want to lose your time. So a woman who's 35, 36, 37, 38, she wants to have a child, or she doesn't, and she knows now. At that age, you usually know what you want. And so she's not there to play a lot of games. She's there to ready to start a family with you. So don't waste your time at the age of 60 with a 20-year whatever old if you can date somebody in the late 30s, beginning of 40s, and she would be happy to have your children, okay? You can short the times yourself. Sometimes you guys, you like to the challenge, and You do that again and again and again, and we tell you again and again and again, and you don't listen, then it is what it is, right? We can just give you so much advice. And as I said, everybody's different. I had also couples who were successful where we had like a huge age difference, but I want to be honest with you, you have to be a very rich man and also attractive at that age to be able to date a woman that young. And it's logical. Why would a woman do that? Do women date younger men? Jake, that's a good question. And I have seen it, yes, but it's really not that common. I don't know why. It's just not. I think most of the men are looking for younger women, but the women, I think, are generally open, depending how much is the age difference. For example, if she is 40 and you are 25, she will probably not be open. But if she's 40 and you are 35, 37, she will be open, right? It depends really. And it depends on the man. It depends where you are at in your life. What sometimes the women don't want is a man who doesn't know what he wants and who's not mature. And that can be at any age. I have seen that at men at their 50s, right? Men at their 50s not mature at all, men at their 30s super mature. So it's not about age so much, it's about really how mature you are, how mature she is. And also, as I said, meet where it's realistic. Same thing is with dating. If you in the US date a 5, then don't date a 10 here, right? You can date maybe a 7 here or an 8 here. That's generalizing again, but just giving you maybe a 6, 7, 8. You can date a little bit higher, but don't go if you're a 5, go to a 10. Why? Because the 10 can date anybody, and if she dates you, then it's because she has some intentions most of the times. Yeah. Core in chat. Hi, I'm 37 and 9 months old, so I'm okay with a Colombian who's 50 years of age or older. Yes, you are fine with that, definitely, because the age difference is fine. Sometimes just you have to see where the woman is still at in her life. In general, I would, to generalize again, women in their 30s, at the end of the 20s, in the beginning of their 30s, they are a little bit further in life and they have already had some experiences. Sometimes the women here at 25, they're still studying, they're still not there. But if you are not in a hurry, and this is where we're going to talk about how to build up that relationship, and if you take your time, and sometimes a woman at 23, 24 as well, she's studying right now, maybe she's not ready to get married, because some of you guys date a woman who's 22 and say, oh, she's not ready to get married. Like, yeah, she's here to date and she's making experiences and she wants to finish her career. That's normal. You have done the same. But it doesn't mean if you build up a relationship with her for 2 or 3 years, she might be ready. But some of you guys are so in a hurry because you think, oh, I'm using now a matchmaking service. I'm paying money for that. I have to travel. So I have to find my wife now in a week, in a day, on the first meeting, whatever. And so that will not work with a woman who's 25. So you have to give it time to build up that relationship, that connection, that she gets to know you, she trusts you, you get to know her. And then also with a woman of 25, if you're 37, it's a good, it's possible, right? Depends also on the woman and where she's at and what she wants. Still, if you're 37, I would recommend you maybe why not dating somebody 27, 28. 10 years, she's a little bit, not about the age difference, not where she's at in life. And also keep in mind, women and men do live with their family here until they're basically married. So there is sometimes they're not as mature and independent as in other cultures. For example, in the American culture and in other cultures, European cultures, the people move out of their house at the age of 18, 19, 20, or 21, maximum 22. But then you're out. You don't live with your parents anymore. Here you live with your parents, like in Italy, 30, 35, 40 years until you get married. So the matureness sometimes is not that, because a woman at 25, if she still lives with her parents, she has never lived alone. She has never cooked for herself, you know, so she needs to do a couple of experiences. So you do have to have some patience. And that is something very, very, very normal. You cannot just go and that's it, there she is. You have to have some patience. And patience in this country is challenging sometimes because it's very different than your culture and you will have cultural shocks. And that's normal. But go and take back a step and say, okay, I'll be patient, right? I just let things evolve and don't hurry so much. And let's get maybe into the how to build up a relationship. Mark, hi Mark, good evening Maria. Mark, I was missing you already, so no comment from Mark tonight. That is weird, so thank you for writing, thank you for tuning in again, Mark. I'm looking forward to meet you at some point. And I'm always happy to read from you. So thank you for writing. Scott, good evening, Scott. Good to hear you. Good to see you. I don't see you, but I have you right in front of me in my head right now. Maria, I love that you're telling people the truth about age. I always try to be as honest as possible. As I said, generalizations are not, there are exceptions. For everything I say, there are exceptions. So don't say, oh, Maria said that and I cannot do that, or Maria said that and that happened. Yeah, obviously it's a generalization, but 5 years, 10 years, maximum 15 years, I would say it's great. But 30 and you're 40, great. 30 and you're 45, great. 30 and you're 48, great, you know? So because at 30, she is at a different, or 29, 28, 27, right? It depends on the woman, as I said. Okay, I'm repeating myself, and we are already, wow, the clock is running here. Ed Burridge, I'm looking for a mature woman, 45 to 55. That's great. That would be my age group and life experience. Yes, I agree with you. So, and a woman she can offer you a little bit more. That's also like, I'm not saying a woman who's 25 cannot offer you a lot, but also having some experience in life is good. Some of you say it's bad, but I think it's good because she knows more what she wants. You know more what you want, and you're not making each other lose your time. The woman at 25 might make, or 22, 23, 24 might make you lose your time. Okay. So just take it as an adventure, an experience. And the tour, for example, is a great example because you meet women of all ages. In the event, we usually have women from 18, 21, depending on so the age group of the woman depends on the ages of the men. So if we have a lot of men who are 50 plus, I don't have a lot of women 18 at the social. But if we have a couple of guys in 20, 30s, yes, I do have women at 21, 22, 23 at the socials too. Right, so depending a little bit, but usually we have women in the agency from 18 to 50. And so you can, when you go on a tour, you can go out with a woman in her 40s, you can go out with a woman in her 30s, you can maybe take out somebody in her 20s and really just experience a little bit. Don't also just experience too much and then you don't deepen the connection, because sometimes that happens that you guys come on a tour, you go on a bunch of different dates with a lot of different women, and then you didn't deepen the connection. You had a good connection with one or two. From maybe 7, you went out, I'm just saying a number, right? You went out with 7, you really like 2. But instead of repeating with those 2, you keep on meeting new people because you think you have to meet more. And that's not always the case. You don't always have, I mean, I said it's a numbers game, but 7 is already a number. You already selected based on your criteria 7 women. And if you, after you dated those 2, feel there was nothing coming out of it, then you obviously can date more. And you always can date more, but sometimes you guys get addicted to dating. And more and more and more dating, and you never concrete anything. So focus. Yeah, if you go on a tour, stay focused, know what you want, and focus on the ones and repeat. That would be my tip for the tour. I will be 43 on Friday. Okay, then happy birthday next week, I will say, but that's great. Couldn't imagine dating anyone younger than 33. That is good. And that is perfect. And I think that will also, as I said, save you more time, because sometimes you guys, you waste a lot of your time, right? And it's precious. So yeah, let me get into, so what can we talk about on the first date? Rich is asking. Okay, good question, Rich. What can you talk about on the first date? So in general, and I also do that in the video calls when we do the Elite Club, I always recommend keep it light in the beginning. Don't talk so much about religion, politics, COVID, I don't know, all those complicated things. Sometimes maybe just don't touch those things, and just stay light. Talk about family, talk about the cities where you are from, talk about hobbies. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? With who do you live? She would say probably with my mom, with my dad, with my brother. Usually they live with somebody, with my daughter. What are your hobbies? What do you like in your free time? What you're passionate about? Maybe go a little bit, obviously, you can talk about what is your faith. Like, I'm Catholic. Okay, I'm Catholic too. If you have the same faith, then it's probably all good, maybe, or even talk about that if that's important for you. You can even go maybe in dating experience. Have you dated a foreigner before? Why are you dating maybe in different countries? She will ask you, why are you looking for a Colombian woman? So if you love pets, talk about pets. If you love gardening, you talk about that, depending on who you are and what you want, but keep it light. Like, normal questions, what you would do to get to know a friend. That would be my first recommendation. Imagine that would be your best friend, or you want that person to be your best friend. What are the questions you would ask your future best friend? And that's it. And then obviously you build up that friendship. Some people say, I'm not coming here to find friends. No, but the Colombian culture is like that. You build up a connection first, you be friends first, and then from being friends, something else can happen. But you have to build up the trust, especially when you come from a different country. Now you're getting to the country, you want to take her to your country, and that's a huge trust thing. So she has to trust you to be able to make that move. And you guys know women want to feel safe, secure, and they want that trust. So it takes time to win that with somebody. And here the women also have been having sometimes bad experience, so they might be a little bit more distrustful than you. Maybe you as well. Some of you guys also are very on guard, especially when it comes to international dating, especially when it comes to go to another country. So you are a little bit, okay, what is that right now? And you're testing and you're looking and you, So it's that you both have to build up the confidence and the connection and the trust. Yeah, it's not from one day to the other. So let me go into the trust thing, and I have my computer here, I have that prepared for you, how to build a relationship or a connection with somebody, okay? How to build a healthy relationship from scratch. Okay, so it requires time, effort, and commitment on both sides. So that is an important factor. So both sides, it's not only you, right? And so if you see that you text a woman every single day for a couple of days and you don't really get a lot back, you don't get a lot of questions, you don't get a lot of interaction, then it's not really the effort she's making, right? So sometimes you guys, we have two very extreme, I'm doing 4 here, but two very extreme examples. One is the example, the man who has no patience, who does go to Colombia and say, hey, I meet her now this week. That's the one. And I'm going to engage this week or the week when I come back. All the unrealistic expectations, okay, I'm going home engaged. Times have changed as well, right? Maybe 20 years ago in Colombia, a woman engaged to a foreigner like that because she wanted to leave the country. And that's not bad, right? She's still interested in you, but she wants to leave. In Russia, Ukraine, 20 years like that, it was like, wow, women on the tours, I heard, I get told, there were like, I don't know, 15, 20, 30, 40 guys on the tour, 40 guys on the tour, and 10 got engaged on the same tour. That is not the case anymore, guys. The times have changed. Women do getting engaged, do getting committed, but not as quickly. Colombians do not want to leave that quickly their country. Lots of them want to leave, to have a different experience, to live in a different place, but they're still not in a hurry and they might not get engaged to you on the same tour. And if she does, good for you. Get to know her still. Engagement can be 1 year or longer, right? You don't have to get married in a week after. So give yourself the time to really get to know that person deeply. Live with that person, go into vacation, rent an apartment together for a week, whatever. Try to spend as much time as possible to get to really the facets of everything and everything from that person, so that you're going to get married to that person if that's your intention. Then get to know her, because you're going to save yourself a divorce, waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy, and then in 1 year you come back and start all over. And it is okay, everybody makes mistakes and it can happen, and you make a decision you thought it was the right one and was not. That's life, but you can prevent some of those things. And time, I always tell the clients, especially in the Elite Club. In the Elite Club, I have often the clients who say, oh, now I have 3 women I really like. What do I do? Who do I choose? First of all, it's not only you choosing, she chooses as well. So go with the one where you really feel that she's also really liking you. But yeah, I always say time will tell. And they always say time will tell. Time will tell. The longer you date, the more you will know. If you're like 3, get to know the 3, and with time will tell you which will be the right one. Because after, for example, the honeymoon or the honeymoon phase, but let's say the first 2-3 months are over and you're still you're still connecting and talking to each other, maybe you will get in a fight. How does she react? How do you react? How do you solve problems? Because in the long run, let's think long term, You have to not be able just to be compatible in lots of things being in a relationship. You also have to be able to solve problems. Everybody has to solve problems in their lives. Every day there are problems and challenges, and how you handle those challenges, that is how you are. And you will see that with that other person, how is she able to manage that, or how is she not able to manage that? Does that fit with me? Does it, oh, we're the same, we love, we don't get angry at all. Oh, she has a bad temper. Can I deal with that? So temper is a thing cultural that women are sometimes very strong here when they are dramatic, when they are hurt, when they are mistrustful. So they test you. They make sometimes drama. Sometimes they make up drama out of nothing just because they want attention. So getting to know the cultural differences is very important, and not getting turned off, or let's say like go away by them. You know, she has to be herself. She has to be Colombian. If she cannot be Colombian, why are you dating a Colombian? So a Colombian is family oriented, but also passionate, and also sometimes dramatic, maybe sometimes jealous, maybe not, generalization here, but I'm saying let her be her. And sorry, obviously everybody can improve, everybody can learn. And obviously, with two people in a relationship, the idea is to find each other in the middle, right? But let her be her. You have to be you, and try not to change everything about her culture and herself because she's not American. If you want an American woman, then date an American woman, you know, and not a Colombian. So don't complain about things then while you're dating a Colombian woman, because it's a different culture. It's not your culture. And you have, and that's the beauty of a relationship, to put yourself in the shoes of that other person. And that is what one of the clients, I think it was Marcello, the other day I talked to him, he went on the last March Barranquito, you saw in one of the videos, and he was saying that it's not just about me, it's about the other person. It's about what she wants, what she needs. Her needs have to be met as well. It's not just my needs have to be met, her needs have to be met too. And her needs are, for example, that you give her security, and I'm not saying about money, security in communication. Here, I'm here. I'm here for you. Hey, honey, how are you doing today? Hey, honey, I'm here again. And be there, okay? So let me get here in my notes because I'm already going ahead. So open and honest communication. Communication is key in a relationship. Talk to your partner about your feelings, your needs, and expectations. Exactly. Actively listen what she has to say or he has to say, and make sure you both feel comfortable expressing your thoughts without fear and judgment. Exactly. It's very important. And communication is not the language, but the language is a challenge at the beginning. We're actually working on this coaching program. I think I told you about. So everything I talk here is what we're going to do in the coaching afterwards when you are with somebody, if you have met somebody throughout a tour or on a date and you need help. Like, hey, we're building up that relationship. You will be able to purchase a 3-month, 6-month, or 9-month accompanying coaching process. Why? Because what do I see is that you guys make a lot of amazing connections. You go home, you felt it, she felt it, and then for some stupid reason, sorry that I say it like that, a miscommunication, a bad interpretation of something what was said, the wording maybe didn't read well. And I'm telling you a lot of the guys, but we're also going to prepare a lot of the videos. If you say, okay, this coaching thing is what I want, there will be videos in English, video in Spanish for her, for you, so that you both can learn from the different culture, because she doesn't know about you, you don't know about her culture. So sometimes it's difficult to understand where she comes from and why is there a problem right now, or what was going on. Sometimes you guys like, I didn't even understand what was going on, you know. And so open communication, honest communication is very important. Mutual trust, that is obviously something that you have to build up. As I said, be honest and trustworthy to earn your partner's trust. Avoid lying or betraying the other person. Yes, so that is something usually not so much in your culture, but I have seen it as well. Like, you think that American men are the most honest and not lying. Sometimes it's not. As I said, no generalizing. Every country has that, right? Every country has people who lie and who don't lie. So it's not about a country, but here, for example, women do sometimes not say things directly, but they do say it in a certain way. It's just a different way how she say it. So if you don't know, as I said, we have the coaching, what we're going to have soon. If not, you can also, there are a lot of videos in the internet where you can just look at it and how do I build up trust? And yeah, being there, for example, what you say is what you do. For example, I'm with my daughter right now, and you send her a little picture, and she knows, oh, he's with his daughter. You know, you don't have to. But she starts trusting you. Say, what he says is what he does, and where he is at. Because some men said, I'm with my daughter, but she's with a girlfriend. You know, so building up that connection, that trust is essential. Respect. Treat your partner with respect all times. Their opinions, decisions, and personal space. So that is important. That is a little bit later, obviously, in the relationship. Also in the beginning, obviously, if you date in the beginning and she says no, then it's no, right? Don't go and push and push and push and push. So just respect that, and she should respect that too from you, right? And if you say, oh, I need today 5 hours of my own, then that should be okay, you know? Women are sometimes here not that they don't trust men from like that. Obviously you have to earn that trust, and so it's being there, you know, and not going away, and showing her, I'm here, I'm interested, I be, and I stay. Okay, support and understanding, being too supportive in difficult times, celebrate their successes in good times, try to understand their perspectives, emotions without judging. Exactly. As I said, it's not your culture, it's different, and it's not your gender either. So men work different than women, right? A woman we test men all the time. Will you leave me? Will you go away? If I'm like that, will you do that? If I do that. So just be men and stay there. I'm not saying don't be in a relationship where you not feel good about it, right? No. But if she, for example, gets like, oh, you have been with somebody and you didn't write me after an hour, so you probably talked to a woman, and so she's making up drama where there's no drama. You haven't done anything. You were at work. You couldn't answer because you were in a work meeting, so you were not able to write him for 5 hours because your boss wanted you to stay in that work meeting. You just stay calm. And just say, hey, honey, I understand that you are already mistrustful right now, but I have done nothing. I was in a work meeting. I would love to show you how, but I was in a work meeting. I have no photo I can show you. Just trust me. I really love you. I like you. I love you. Honey, you're beautiful. I don't want any other woman. Don't think that. I will be soon back in Colombia. Let's make a video call. Let's talk about it. And do that. Be there. Talk about it, right? And sometimes it's stupid. You get offended. You say, why is she thinking that about me? I have never cheated on anybody. Why does she think that? Obviously, she's done projecting on you. She's totally projecting her emotions and her bad experience on you, and it's not your fault. And she should work on that and she will. After a while, she will realize you're not like that. You're not the Colombian man who will cheat on her. You're the man who's working and who's really there, and you just have a busy life and you were not able to communicate that. So she will know that, you know, and she will know that if you keep on just explaining it and don't get offended. How can you think that I cheated? And then a big drama comes, a big fight. And what do Colombians sometimes do when they fight? They just block you. They just go away. They just leave you there. And it's terrible because it's not the right way. That I'm saying we have to do a lot of videos to the woman, not only to you guys. The women as well have to learn a lot. But sometimes she blocks you in ciao. And then at some point she does unblock you, and then she wants you that you write her at some point, because if you don't write her, she will not write you, and then the connection is gone. So as I said, I can write a book about that. I can tell you 50 more examples about that. It's very complex. And so that's why I'm saying we're going to do the videos. If you want coaching, great. Even if you want to coaching without that you met somebody, that's probably possible as well, to prepare you for that dating here. Share common interests, exactly, and find activities that you both enjoy and share, and things you can talk about so that you can build up that relationship. Talk a lot. Since I tried that, she should be your best friend. And so would be your best friend, you will spend time, you will talk, you will be there. If your friend needs help, you will help. If your friend needs an ear, you will listen to that friend, right? Obviously, you don't want to stay in the friend zone forever. Don't get me wrong, but obviously building up that connection is building up a friendship first. Conflict management, very important. I already said that a little bit. Depending how, sometimes they're a little bit heated here. Sometimes it goes like, yeah, it's a little bit like that. So don't go in that heated. Try to be the calm one. Try to be okay. Obviously, if she's totally disrespectful with you, you obviously have all the rights to say everything you need to say and everything, but try to always be in. That was I always try to people, always try to think the best. Don't always think the worst. Because if you always think the worst, obviously, you will not act very nice. But if you think, okay, he didn't write me or she didn't write me for 5 hours, You could think at home, okay, maybe she's with another man. But think about, okay, maybe she's probably just at work and she was not able to text me, right? Try to think the best and not always the worst. I think that is also very important. Disagreements are normal. Learn to resolve conflicts constructively. It's not easy without falling into aggression or manipulation. Listen to your partner's concerns and find solutions. Yes, in the end, it's about finding a solution where both are happy. Affection, show affection towards your partner. Voice gestures, hugs, kisses, words of affection, strengthen the emotional connection. So yeah, write her a lot, tell her how beautiful she is every single day. Honey, I love your smile today. Honey, your earrings are beautiful. Honey, wow, what happened to you? What happened to you? Honey, you look amazing today. What happened to you? That's maybe not the right thing to say. But honey, you look amazing today. Honey, your dress. Even if you're not there, but just in a video call, she sent you a photo, comment positive on that photo. Women always want to hear that everybody loves to hear something beautiful about them, right? Just try to find something positive. Focus on the positive, focus on the good, not focus on all the bad. Every culture has good and bad things. The American culture, the German culture, the European culture, the Colombian culture, the Ecuadorian culture, Chinese culture, any culture has amazing and not so amazing things. So it's normal. Everybody has good and bad things. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. So that's normal. And part of being with somebody long-term and married is accepting that. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. And she will not be perfect and you will not be perfect. And all of us have past traumas, past bad experience, which, as I said, sometimes we project on our new partner. And that's not fair. But if you realize it, if you have conscious about it, you can talk about it and you can change it. Yeah. Financial problem solving. Yeah, financial. So what are a lot of the things where people really get into fight? Finances, how to raise a child, sometimes the ex things, and also how to handle, for example, conflict, right? That are a lot of the things where people fight about. So finances are obviously something later on in a relationship. In the beginning, it's not that you will have to talk about that so much, but if she loves to spend $20,000 a month and you don't like to spend at all, then that will be a problem in the future, right? If she loves, so it's just about talking, okay, honey, I know that you love your makeup, your shoes, your everything, so let's put a budget. There's so much budget you can spend on that, and I have so much budget I can spend on that. For example, if you love cars, right? She loves shopping and you love cars. And so at some point you always obviously will find something where you both are happy. And but also something something very important in the beginning is sending money or not sending money. It's a very, very fine line how to build up that relationship and not having money involved, especially coming from a different country where there are certain expectations. And believe me, it's not just you. I just talked to yesterday one of my Colombian friends, male friends, and he's single, and I asked him how it's going. And he said, Maria, it's really not that easy because most women really ask for money all the time and they always want you. And it's not, as I said, it doesn't happen only to the foreigners, it happens to the Colombian men as well. And they just ask for money all the time. And it's very sad because it's not that I want to give, it's just I don't want to be used, and that is where you guys sometimes come in and you feel like an ATM, and that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case that you feel like an ATM from the first moment you start talking. If she asks you on the first date, I had unfortunately very bad experience a couple of weeks ago where the girl went on the date with a man and I think she asked for $500 on the first date. Obviously didn't give it to her. You can always say no, but just he did some, I think maybe he said, I don't know, I buy you a washing machine or something like that. So there might have been a confusion. I don't really know, but that sometimes happens. That is really not the best thing. But I sometimes say if it happens on the first date, it's great because then you already know, right? You don't spend a lot of more time and you don't have to waste months of your time to find out. And my friend, my Colombian male friend, he said, actually, it's really quickly. She often says it in the beginning, oh, I'm having a really hard life. It's really hard. I'm alone with my daughter. Things are not going easy. So she will not ask directly. She will ask without asking. She will not ask directly, but she will mention it. And then it's obviously up to you if you buy it, if you want to buy into it, if you want to help, if you don't want to help. I think it's always great to help and to be there and to support it. But it's not about being abused, right? Or being taken advantage of. Abuse is maybe the wrong word, but taking advantage of. Because if you, for example, every month send $300, it's really not a lot of what do you think? Is that okay? Is that not okay? And we can give you feedback about that, because culturally it's normal and it's a traditional woman, and women are used to that men are helping, supporting them and maintain them as well. But also women are just sometimes looking for a quick solution, and you are not that quick solution, and you work hard for your money and you work hard there where you are. And so you can give it obviously to her, but you're not obligated, and you can always say no. And that is something that ask you for something and need doesn't have any medicine, go ahead and buy it for her. Do it the first time, do it the second time. You will see a pattern, right? Don't go like, oh, she asked me one time for money. Maybe don't cut her off right away. Maybe do it, but you will see a pattern. If it's everything a month, if it's every time that she talks to you, she just like, oh, my makeup business is not going very well. Oh, I need new makeup because my makeup business is not doing well. Oh, I need, oh, my mom, oh, my car. I need to fix my car, you know? And sometimes also it's like what you give. Understandable, because the men are taking also advantage of the woman and just using the bodies for sex, for fun. And they, let's say there's the next one. Okay, there's a more beautiful one. Ciao. So women are a little bit more precautious. So they say, okay, you want me, show it to me with your time, and also a little bit with your money, and how you go, how you say, I don't know. I hope it makes sense for you guys what I'm telling you here. Emotional support is very important. Financial support, as I said, is later on, and it's very difficult to tell. But emotional support is very important too. And for a woman, that's important. Being there, listen to her, helping. From the woman is, oh, the men are so cold and serious. So try to have fun. Women love to laugh. Women love men with a good sense of humor. Try not to be so serious. Try to be a little bit goofy. Like, just have a good time. Try to put the energy in, and she will too. And both, you will see, it is not, you will see that it's not one thing what you do in one moment to the other. It takes time, and that's the other thing. Don't rush into the relationship. Don't rush into married, or I don't have children. I'm 45 now. Don't worry. Let them talk, let them look. It's your life, it's your decision. And if you need another 5 years, it is what it is. Sometimes now I'm saying some guys really never make a decision and date forever and not concrete anything. Want to balance the things. So let me see, guys. I think that was a lot of information. Let me see if some of you write something about it and you have some questions about it. This is good information, says Brad. Thank you, Brad. I'm happy. Great information on relationships. Squishy Plums is saying, okay, thank you, guys. I enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you. As I said, if you have a couple of more questions, we can go into that. Some women are afraid when we ask deep questions. Some other ladies. Yes, I have, as I said, I talked to Marcelo last week, and he said, yeah, Maria, I went home. She didn't ask the question. She didn't ask about me. And so that's valid, right? That's what time tells you, and that is okay. Obviously a pity, but I always say it's better than 20 years from now, right? Or 5 or 1 year from now, or 3 years from now, where she's with you in that country. So, so yeah. So let's prepare use of the woman just a moment, because I love you. I know that you guys love always seeing new women, and okay, yeah, you have questions. Okay, and you have some more. Okay. Let's talk about Sonia a moment. Oh, Kirk, give me just a second. Let me answer a couple of more questions, then we get into Eleva saying, thank you, Maria, for the very good advice on the age. You are very welcome. Howard, will there be several women of different ages, probably 40 to 45? Yes. and always invite the ones on your hot list. So you send a hot list in prior, if you can like 2, 3, 4 weeks prior, and then we try that she comes to the social, or not. You said the woman was 40 and she said she cannot come to the social, then we tried same criteria. Yeah. What about them moving here? LA, most of the women are open to move to a different country. They're open, but most of them are open really to go where love is. If love wants to stay in Colombia, like if you want to move to Colombia, she will probably also be open to live here with you. So some women really want to live in a different country. That's possible. Some women really want to live in her own country, but most and for example, she has a child, but lots of them are still open to move, but maybe that they are already I don't know, maybe with the grandparents, sometimes it's also the mom and the dad and all of that. The younger ones, as they obviously still want to do a career, have no children, are maybe more open. It's true to do that, but I know all women ages. Like I have talked to all women ages, and I have seen women in their 30s open. I have also seen women in their 20s not be open. So I just would go case by case and just ask her at the social, at the table, in a letter, in a video call, in a meeting. If you meet women at the social, do you ask them outright on the spot? What are the rules? You can, for example, at that same evening, if you're a Friday evening and you want to go out with her. Sit in a date with him? Yeah, great. What day is possible for you? She said, hey, Tuesday lunch. Then she writes that down, Tuesday lunch, and then we call her on Monday or Sunday and ask her, hey, do you still want to do Tuesday lunch with that person? So yeah, we usually set up the dates on spot. And as I said, some of you want to take somebody out that the interaction, and then we reconfirm the dates obviously throughout the week, right? But yeah, we ask if she's interested. Will a Colombia express interest in a foreigner? There are different reasons why. You're more exotic, right? So and just the way you talk, those are just different. You're just right. So that is obviously you have to more interest. You get more interest. You may have it a little bit easier as well. Obviously the financial is a thing because they know that when you earn in US dollar is probably you're better financially stable than maybe some of the Colombian men. I'm not saying they're has money, which is not true, but that's the perception. So you have an advantage there. And also, obviously, sometimes living in a different country, having a different experience. I'm not saying she just goes by that, right? But it does make an so yeah, I think it's easier for a foreigner, but also as a foreigner, it's easier that you are taking advantage of. A local man can see it. As I said, my friend, and he still is like, yeah, after talking 1 hour, usually talking 1 hour chatting, you already can tell what is the intention. And if a woman asks, oh, I'm having such a trouble, and it's, don't get me wrong, the women do have a lot of problems. It's a difficult country to live in if you're a single mom, for example. It's very difficult. So I cannot judge anybody, but you have to see what is the real intention, right? There are women who need a little bit of help, and their intentions are truthful. They really want to meet somebody, but they do need a little bit of help, and that's okay. But some women are not really truthful, and they are not really looking for a man. you wait, as you said, you get cleared. What do we do when the first reply to our letter has deep questions? They stop communicating after my response, so I should not have answered, but what should I have done? I think it's good. I mean, where you are at, it depends. So that's why I'm saying don't hurry, give it time. And also when people, why you can date for a couple of months. You don't have to, after 1 week, get engaged and be with one person right away, okay? Okay, then let's maybe get to, for me, asking for money once is enough. I had enough of that crap. Birthday and special occasions only after marriage is fine, not dating. Larry, I understand you. And I know that happens to a lot of men. I had just one of my elite clubs, I think, where it happened the same. He really doesn't like it, and I understand. But as I said, it's normal. Like, it's normal to ask. You don't have to give it, right? So you just say no. You don't get offended. I know that for your culture, maybe it feels like begging. You know, you'd never ask usually for money, and women do not ask for money. Women are independent. But here it's different. And here's always like, if you don't ask, you don't. Who doesn't ask, who doesn't get fat or something. There's like a saying here. And so, yeah, if you just ask once, as I said, there will be a pattern. And it depends on where she's at right now. You know, there can always be an emergency, and it can be the truth, right? You can really like somebody, and really tomorrow her mom really needs something, you know, and yeah, the easiest is to go to the foreigner because she knows that you're going to probably have more money. And so you can and cannot blame her. So I would test it. I would not just maybe say goodbye right away the first, but I would get my red flags, my alarm clocks going and say, okay, let me test. You're not obligated to do anything. You can say no and she will not. Or if, for example, can you give me $500? No, but I can give you 50, you know, I can give you 70. So you can find a little bit smaller and that will be okay. You don't have to deliver everything she asked for. So you decide. Yeah, not she. She doesn't decide. It's your money. Okay, let's get into that Sonia video. Sonia is a new girl in the agency of Medellin. She is a new featured girl. I think she just went her first date last week, so very new still. And her ID is 215239. We have a little interview for you prepared, and you can go on the website and you can find the featured girl. When you go on her profile, you will see communication for free, and then you can click there and you can write the first letter for free. And so you don't pay. She will reply positive or negative. If she's negative, then it is what it is. If it's positive, then you start on paying for the next upcoming letters to get to know her, right? So, but the first letter is for free. So if you just want to reach out and say, hi, I like you, whatever, that is totally possible. And maybe it's possible that you meet her. And as I said, let's go with that interview with Sonia.
Hola, mi nombre es Sonia, tengo 37 años, soy de la ciudad de Medellín.
What do you do for a living?
Trabajo en el área contable.
What are your hobbies?
Me gusta mucho hacer deporte, salir a caminar, me gusta el cine y compartir en familia.
What kind of movies do you like?
Me gustan las películas de acción y las películas también, la comedia.
Are you family oriented?
Sí, mucho. Comparto mucho en familia, es lo que más hago.
Would you be willing to have children?
Tengo un hijo, tiene 14 años. Sería una posibilidad más adelante si tengo una buena pareja con la que me entienda y también desee tener hijos, sería una posibilidad. Uno más.
Do you like to cook? What is your favorite food?
Sí lo hago muy a menudo, no por el tiempo, pero cuando tengo tiempo sí lo hago. Me gusta la comida italiana.
How would your ideal first date be?
Me gusta conocerte diferentes tipos de comida, entonces me gusta mucho conocer restaurantes, visitar lugares nuevos para mí.
Would you be willing to live abroad with a gentleman?
Sí, estaría dispuesta.
What are you looking for in the agency?
Bueno, en la agencia, pues obviamente busco un compañero para mi vida, para formar un hogar, una familia y un hombre pues que me quiera y que obviamente yo también quiera.
What attracts you in a man?
Bueno, un hombre que sea respetuoso, cariñoso, que sea honesto y pues principalmente que sea un hombre que tenga principios y que me quiera. El amor que exista es.
How do you show love?
Bueno, todo se va dando a medida que se comparte con esa persona. Todo va naciendo de forma espontánea. Entonces, pues como te digo, yo soy una persona muy familiar, que me gusta mucho compartir en familia. Si tengo mi pareja, pues estar tiempo con esa persona, dedicarle como todos esos espacios que se merece.
Where would you have a vacation with your partner?
Bueno, quiero conocer Dubái. Quiero conocer Dubái. Pues tengo una experiencia con una amiga que viajó y pues que he visto también, pues el lugar es hermoso y pues la cultura me gustaría conocerla.
What are those non-negotiables?
No negociables, la falta de respeto. La falta de respeto no se negocia, pues ya. Y la desconfianza, cuando ya se termina la confianza, ya no se puede negociar.
How to conquer your heart?
Un hombre tierno, comprensivo, amoroso, detallista, respetuoso, honesto. De esa manera esa persona va ganándose mi corazón poco a poco. Bueno, los invito a que se contacten conmigo si están interesados. Los espero acá en la ciudad de Medellín para que vengan, conozcan la ciudad. De igual manera me conocen a mí, por supuesto. Acá los esperamos. Bye.
So back now. I hope you enjoyed Sonia's video. You can ask her your questions in the letter. As I said, the first letter is for free. You can just go on her profile and her profile number. Let me look it up one more time. I just closed it a second ago. Sorry about that here. Her profile number is, I think you saw it there, 21 52 39. So yeah, go on there and put the ID in, and then you can, on the right hand side, start communication for free. You can also click on Colombian women, and she should be the #1 on that website, on that site, the first profile that comes up. So yeah, so I hope that is somebody you enjoy to get to know a little bit more. We enjoy very much to do those interviews and tell you more about the woman we have. Some of you guys, one of the first questions I didn't answer was from Anthony. Hi, Anthony. I think you wrote that quite a while ago. Can you guarantee to us that these services are real? I trusted another American-based dating service, and it seems even they are being fraudulent. How do we know there's no back-end business being done by local agency and the translators? So, Anthony, there are in the AFA world, there are two types of offices, right? So we have our own offices and there are affiliate offices, affiliate partner. So that are local agencies who do help to find more profiles, help to find more women, and you can meet those women too. But they are local agencies and sometimes there are problems. And so if you have a problem with anything, just please talk to us. You can always call Phoenix, you can always talk to me or an email. But I would recommend you focus on the local, not on the local agencies, if not on the AFA offices. So go to the office, don't go to the agency, for example. In Latin America, where are our offices? So our office is in Peru. That is an AFA office. So there, Sarah is the office manager. So you can always go to Peru. There are tours in Peru and the women are genuine, and you will have lots of possibilities to find a great woman there. The staff is amazing. Then our AFA office is in Costa Rica. It's the AFA office. Gustavo is the manager there. So, and his sister. So you can always go there. Mexico is not a AFA office. Mexico is a local agency, is an affiliate office. I'm not saying you cannot go there. I'm just saying it's not it's an office. In Colombia, we do have 3 offices, and there are no affiliates in Costa Rica, Colombia, or in Peru. There are only our own offices. So you do get a different experience, but you get a real experience, a genuine experience. I'm not saying that all of the women in Colombia are genuine. Not all of the women I have in the database are genuine. That would be a lie. I mean, if I know, I take her off. If she isn't, right? But the idea is that the women, as I said, sometimes the women are looking for money, looking for something, and we don't know, right? So it's not that just it's a fault of an agency, of a translator, of an office. Sometimes it's really just sometimes cultural. So you have to maybe see the difference. Just because you go to an office, not everything will be always perfect, right? You can have an issue in an office too, because international dating has a lot of challenges, and especially if you date young and a lot of age difference, it does create a lot of problems sometimes. So don't get me wrong. I don't want to tell you everything is perfect if you go in an office and an affiliate doesn't. No, there can be still issues, but it's a really an AFA office, and it's real women who really want to meet somebody and who really are here for something real, And but for example, if you see profiles in Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, most of those profiles are from affiliate partners. So I'm saying it's great. They're great profiles, great women, but really get to know the person, really see where the attention's at. And that is not in an affiliate, it's not in an office, that is everywhere. Anywhere you meet somebody, if you go in a bar and you meet somebody, you have to get to know the intentions of that person. Don't just trust blindly because now you met somebody through an AFA office. Obviously, you get more safety. Definitely, why should you not use a service? Why should you use our service if you don't get more safety? You do get it, but I just don't want to say like all of your experience will be 100% perfect. But what is the difference? You come to me, you talk to Manuela, you talk to John, you talk to somebody, and then we solve that. Okay. If there's anything, sometimes there are even lots of, like, for example, I had a client a couple of weeks ago. Oh, wow, it's already very late here. A client ago who had a lot of problems on the dates. And yes, some were the women, but a lot of them was cultural. And he got like he was so angry and he was not able to make him happy because he didn't understand the culture. He dated too young. He was not old. He was 37 and he dated 22, 23 and went on one date and said, yeah, she's not ready to get married, so I'm pissed off now. And so he left and treated her not badly, but she didn't feel respected. So she was upset, he was upset. So it's just like you have to have realistic expectations. And a woman in their 20s is not different in Colombia than a woman in the United States. She is in a different phase of her life. And as I said, even in the US, she might be more mature because she might already live alone, So just don't blame everything always on the others. Sometimes it's really cultural misunderstandings, but yeah, there might be issues. And as I said, I recommend you the local, the AFA offices. In Ukraine, there are AFA offices, there are affiliates, but there are AFA offices in the Philippines. I know there are, and I also know in China. So just ask which are the offices and then go maybe there if you want to be a little bit mature. You can also go, as I said, meet affiliate partners because we have had marriages out of a lot of them, the affiliate partners. If not, we wouldn't have them. But yeah, it's something. And if you have a problem, as I said, just let us know and we're always there to help. Okay. So let me see if there are any other questions I have here in my thing. And then we're going to about to finish tonight. And next week, Manuela will be with you. And then the week after, I will be with you as usual. And so next week, that will be cool as well. And then we're already on the tour. It will be the day before the tour. And when we're back from the tour, we will have new footage as well. So that's really cool. Brad is saying thanks again for hosting the event. I'll be there soon, Brad. Cool to see you then also very soon. Organic chocolate, hi. You brought the comments in. Sorry, I haven't seen that. Discover the mouth-watering flavors of Barranquilla street food scene from arepas to buñuelos. Your taste buds will thank you. Yeah, street food in general is very good in Colombia. I'm so sorry. It's very good in Colombia. You say, oh, wow, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to eat on the street. And it's funny because I worked for cruise ships in Cartagena for a while, and I actually guided lots of the street food tours. And the cruise ship people were so excited about that. They loved it. and nobody ever got sick. So really, most of the street food, obviously, you have to look at the place a little bit, but most of the street food places are really cheap and really good. What I definitely not recommend you is drinking out tap water in Cartagena, Barranquilla, or Santa Marta. You always have to drink filtered water or bottled water, especially in Barranquilla. I had people getting sick from the water, not so much from the food, if not from the water. Obviously, if you eat fish, always try that it's fresh, right? All those things. But street food is really good. Organic chocolate, experience the warmth of Barranquilla locals, so hospitality and friendliness will make you feel right at home. Yes, I agree with you. Explore the rich history and architecture of Barranquilla's Colombian neighborhoods, a journey through time. So yeah, organic chocolate, loved it in Barranquilla, and I think lots of you will love it too. So Massive is saying, I heard women cheating on men and men cheating on women is common and accepted in Colombia. Is this true? Accepted? No, it's not accepted. Let's say from the male part, it's like the man, it's a very machistic culture. It's more accepted, but times have changed. I said we're not living 100 years ago, right, or 50 years ago. The men do possess a lot of more freedom. The men do have more machismo. Often they do earn more money, and so they have more possibilities and can maintain sometimes even a couple of women at the same time. There are stories here where men are having 2 or 3 families at the same time, right? And the woman no. So yeah, it is not accepted, but there is a certain normality. And women do not like it. They don't want it. That's why they often look for a foreigner, not just because you're offering a lot of stability and lots of terms, if not like emotional stability. You don't cheat on her. You are there and she's safe with you, you know? And so it's not that accepted, but it does always happen. And I think it's maybe not as bad for a man, like maybe in other cultures. For a woman, it's not that easy. It depends where she is at, depends on the city, depends how it is, but the woman usually has to be a little bit careful. Like the man, if she is in a relationship and her man finds out that she cheated on him, it's like you cut my ego off, like, you know, it's like the ego thing coming there. And so men get violent, men do get, like, I take the money away. Men do a lot of nasty things too. And so, yeah, it can happen. Obviously, in every culture, men and women cheat. I mean, the men have to cheat with somebody, right? It's not that you cheat with other men most of the time. So, yeah, obviously, women do cheat. But I do think it's not that openly accepted, and women do try to hide it a little bit more. I'm not saying it's not happening. That's why I'm saying don't trust everybody right away, and also ask her sometimes for a photo where you're at, what you're doing. Send me a picture. Not being controlling, but just, you know, verifying. If she's with her daughter, she will send you the picture. If she's with another man, she might not be sending it, right? She might have no cell phone battery right now, but you can also, there will be a pattern, right? One time, second time, third time, you will feel it, right? You will see it. Don't let yourself just talk out of it and manipulate, because they're very good in talking. So yeah, there are women who cheat, but it's not that accepted. They're really not. Like, women have to be really careful. Some men have killed them, you know, just for cheating on them. So yeah. Brad, Maria, will you let me use your phone? Just kidding. Brad, you have unlimited introductions. You don't need my phone. You can meet any woman. You can get phone numbers from as many women as you want. So don't worry. If you're on a tour, you are all set. For the guys that will be arriving a few days before the tour begins, do you have recommendations? Yeah, get settled in and relax. It's going to be a hard week of dating and activities. So get some sleep, get used to the climate, get yourself familiar with the area. On Thursday, you can start dating, which is included. If you want to have a date prior, no problem, you pay extra. We skip the membership fee. You don't have to pay the membership fee of 150 US. You just pay per introduction. So if you arrive, for example, on Tuesday and you want a date for Tuesday evening, you would have to pay extra. But as I said, we skip the membership fee. So it's cheaper for you. And if not, you just relax. And then on Thursday morning, I would recommend you, if you arrive on Tuesday, Wednesday, come into the office, look at your dating schedule, look which woman you would like to meet, setting up the rest of the dates, looking who comes to the social, setting up your cell phone, looking if you need a translator. So there are lots of things, and you can just hang out at the pool, go to the beach, go shopping, you know, just enjoy and relax. If I met a woman, then I would stay for at least 3 weeks, return home, and then come back for 3 weeks. The longer you can stay, the better. The more often you can return, the better. But even if you cannot travel every 3 weeks, because not everybody can, if you cannot come after 3 weeks again for another 3 weeks, then don't worry. Come what you can come, plan the trip, but give her something to look forward to. For example, you can come back in 3 months. No problem. You come back in 3 months, but let her know that you're going to come. Keep a good communication in between and test her and look what are the patterns, right? So last questions. Good information. Thank you. Thank you guys for the positive. What about the idea that the money is her money and my money is our money? Huh? What is about it? Her money is her money and my money is our money. Yeah. That is not, it's not, yeah, I don't know what to tell you there, depending also probably on the situation. But let's say, for example, you bring her to the United States, you have your income, and she has a little side job, because sometimes what the women want is they want to send money to the family, right? Most of the women want, and it's not a lot, don't worry, right? It's not like you have to send $5,000 to the family. As I said, the minimum wage is $200, $300. If that's what you send it per month, that's plenty. So that being that said, or buy a mattress or buy a television after you are married, right? No, I'm not saying why you are not married. I'm saying afterwards. So for example, now you're in the US, she gets a little side job. For example, she has a little Instagram and she can make some money from that for selling some bikinis, right? So what the women sometimes do, they don't want you to bother you to send money to the parents because it's her parents, right? So she said, hey, I want to use my money to send it to the parents. If you say no, obviously, I mean, it's a possibility, but her family is the most important thing. If you will say no, if you will not support that she supports her family and that she is with the family, then you're in the wrong culture, because it's a family-oriented culture. It's what they made for. You know, it's their thing. Family is everything. Family comes first. And don't think you come first. Your family, when you're married, your family too obviously come first, but her mom, her dad, her closest family is very important for her. And that's what you want, right? You want a woman who's like that. So it's a matter, like everything, about communication, about expectations and financial, how are we going to manage finances? And you can ask that in the relationship. You don't have to wait until you're married. You can ask once you're in the relationship, hey, what do you think? Is my money our money? Is your money only your money? Is your money also my money? How do we going to manage the money thing? Because it's important, right? And especially you have worked often all your life, and maybe you're a different level in your life where she's at. So she cannot support the same amount of money. She cannot do the same thing like you, right? And until she can work, probably in the US, there will be a couple of years, maybe 1 or 2 years going by. So yeah, it is not easy, but I would recommend you talk about it and be honest and clear about it and find a solution in the middle where both of you are happy and don't feel obligated to do anything. But as I said, if you say, no, I want to support your family and I don't want you to support your family, then you will have the first big fight. And I don't know if you're going to recover from that fight. So some things are cultural, some things you won't change. It's not, some people say in the Philippines, it's like you marry the family. I would not say in Colombia you marry the family. I would not say you have to support the whole family. I would not say you do that. No, but she wants to support and she wants to be a good daughter. And I think that's nothing where you can be really angry about. Just talk about how much, right? What are we talking about? Are we talking about $5,000 every month? Or are we talking maybe $500 every month, right? So it is just finding that balance in a relationship. It's all about that balance and compromising and patience and working, constructing every single day. A relationship is not just I do it, I have it, and it's there. No, it's every day. Yeah. Guys, okay, I think that was a good thing to finish. Every time my shows are going to be longer and longer and longer. I want to make it actually shorter. Thank you for always watching so long and really listening to me. The last question, any dates for 2024? Yes, but I don't know, we have published them, but I already sent it to Phoenix, our dates. We just have to coordinate between the different countries, because we don't want to have a tour at the same point as Peru or Mexico, right? So we have to schedule. There are bank holidays, vacation time, high seasons, low seasons, conferences in every city. So, but basically our dates did not change so much. So if you know our dates from this year, for example, Cartagena, November will be November. In January, I think we changed Barranquilla for Medellin. We had this year first Medellin and then Barranquilla. So I think we will do first Barranquilla and then Medellin. In the end of January, and then Medellin in February. So yeah, if you don't see the dates yet, they should be out very soon. So hopefully the next 1 or 2 weeks, they should be online. Manuela and me will keep you updated. And guys, thank you so much. And have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week. Lots of you I see next week in Barranquilla, looking really forward. We have still 2 spots left, so sign up if you haven't. Looking forward to meet you, and bye-bye. I'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Bye-bye.
Hola, mi nombre es Sonia, tengo 37 años, soy de la ciudad de Medellín,
What do you do for living?
trabajo en el área contable.
What are your hobbies?
Me gusta mucho hacer deporte, salir a caminar, me gusta el cine y compartir en familia.
What kind of movies do you like?
Me gustan las películas de acción y las películas también, la comedia.
Are you family oriented?
Sí, mucho. Comparto mucho en familia, es lo que más hago.
Would you be willing to have children?
Tengo un hijo, tiene 14 años. Sería una posibilidad más adelante si tengo una buena pareja con la que me entienda y también desee tener hijos, sería una posibilidad. Uno más.
Do you like to cook? What is your favorite food?
Sí lo hago muy a menudo, no por el tiempo, pero cuando tengo tiempo sí lo hago. Me gusta la comida italiana.
How would your ideal first date be?
Me gusta conocerte diferentes tipos de comida, entonces me gusta mucho conocer restaurantes, visitar lugares nuevos para mí.
Would you be willing to live abroad with a gentleman?
Sí, estaría dispuesta.
What are you looking for in the agency?
Bueno, en la agencia, pues obviamente busco un compañero para mi vida, para formar un hogar, una familia y un hombre pues que me quiera y que obviamente yo también quiera.
What attracts you in a man?
Bueno, un hombre que sea respetuoso, cariñoso, que sea honesto y pues principalmente que sea un hombre que tenga principios y que me quiera. El amor que exista es.
How do you show love?
Bueno, todo se va dando a medida que se comparte con esa persona. Todo va naciendo de forma espontánea. Entonces, pues como te digo, yo soy una persona muy familiar, que me gusta mucho compartir en familia. Si tengo mi pareja, pues estar tiempo con esa persona, dedicarle como todos esos espacios que se merece.
Where would you have a vacation with your partner?
Bueno, quiero conocer Dubái. Quiero conocer Dubái. Pues tengo una experiencia con una amiga que viajó y pues que he visto también, pues el lugar es hermoso y pues la cultura me gustaría conocerla.
What are those non-negotiables?
No negociables, la falta de respeto. La falta de respeto no se negocia, pues ya. Y la desconfianza, cuando ya se termina la confianza, ya. No se puede negociar.
How to conquer your heart?
Un hombre tierno, comprensivo, amoroso, detallista, respetuoso, honesto. De esa manera esa persona va ganándose mi corazón poco a poco. Bueno, los invito a que se contacten conmigo si están interesados. Los espero acá en la ciudad de Medellín para que vengan, conozcan la ciudad. De igual manera me conocen a mí, por supuesto. Acá los esperamos. Bye.